Dayo Johnson, a quintessential gentleman, experienced management expert and business leader, is the Internal Control Director of Nigeria Cleaning Service Limited, Nigeria's foremost cleaning services and facilities management company.
As the name implies, we're a cleaning company. First and foremost, our core business is actually just cleaning. We clean just about anything that you can clean, if possible. We clean windows, we clean floors, we clean offices, we clean hospitals, we clean office blocks, we clean facades on the outside. We take care of waste, both solid and liquid waste. We do fumigation to get rid of mosquitoes and rats and such like pests that occur in the tropics. And of course, we've expanded our business into not just janitorial cleaning, but into things like tank cleaning. When I say tanks, I'm not talking about the small tanks that you have inside your house for storing water. I'm talking about the big crude oil tanks that we have in the Delta region of Nigeria that store crude oil, slop oil. And in the past, we've seen when we clean these tanks through so-called traditional methods, it does lend itself to people being killed inside the tanks because of the air that they have to breathe in. And so we've brought in technology to do this kind of cleaning. We don't put anybody inside the tank and we don't kill anybody. That's the thing. In addition to all that, we recover something in the region of about 95 to 97% of the crude oil that's inside the dirt and return that to the client so that the actual cleaning, the cost of the cleaning is actually taken over by the amount of crude oil that we return. So the way we look at it is that is a benefit to Nigeria. We're reducing the amount of spillage and stuff that happens in the Delta region. Yes, we're just starting out in that. We've been at it now for about 8 years, and we've done a few tanks. And most of the oil companies are looking at it now and saying that, yes, this is the way to go. So we think that doing this kind of work, where we're looking after the environment, whichever way it is, because we are cleaning, we're in fact giving back to the country that has nurtured me. And of course my brothers. So that's what we do, clean. That's hard to say in some cases. I would say that Nigerian Cleaning Service has grown as a result of Nigerians traveling out of the country and seeing that, yes, there are places which can be clean. And they've come back and said, I want my house to be that clean, or I want my office to be that clean. In addition to that, we've had a lot of foreign companies coming to Nigeria, some of the oil companies, some of the manufacturing companies that have been here, and they've brought some of their staff along with them all the time, all the way down from the colonial times. And they've all wanted clean, or cleaner, I should say, offices and abodes where they reside. So we've grown as a result of that. I've got friends that insist that they use Nigerian Cleaning Service for their so-called spring cleaning once a year to make sure that their houses are nice. We've had people come to us and say they have this event that they have to clean the hall before we clean. And of course we have companies, manufacturing companies, in the food and drink sector that say, well, NAFDAC is serious now, so we've got to make sure that this place is clean, this factory is clean, so that there's no dirt inside their drinks or their food. And so we clean, So I would say that the market has responded, not as much as we would like, obviously. There's a lot of competition out there, and competition is good because it spurs you on to do more and do it better, But I would say that Nigeria, we're a difficult country. 220 million or whatever it is now, and we've got to clean this place. So, yes, most of our focus is in Lagos State. We do clean outside. We clean as far as Maiduguri. So We do a lot of cleaning. I would like to say that we employ something in the region of about 1,500 cleaners. Just that's the cleaners that we employ. I'm not saying that we're the biggest employer in the country. I mean, the federal government is probably a bigger employer than us, but we've done our part to help families along that would not have a job if it wasn't for this. As I said, there's a lot of competition out there, so my guess would be that in Lagos State alone, there must be in the region of something like 20,000 cleaners out there. Not to talk about the hotels that have their own cleaning staff and all that. So I think we've done pretty well in starting the business and encouraging other people to do the cleaning. Everybody that wants something clean should look out for us. We focus on the commercial businesses and the private commercial businesses because we find that doing business with them is more of a, we're doing business with you, so we perform a service, you pay us. Fine, everything goes on well. Now, in the case of doing business with the government, that's a lot harder. The reason why is because, well, let's face it, the government is spending not their money, they're spending the people's money. So they tend to have a long negotiation process to do this. By the time you've given in your quote, by the time it's cleared, with the raging inflation that we have in Nigeria, what you gave originally as a quote is already by the side. By the time they say, okay, come and do the job, we have to tell themselves, well, bros, the price of this thing has gone up because of this and this and that. And, it's a hard thing to do. The government would like to outsource a lot of things. We understand that. But this is Nigeria, it's my country. And I know how difficult it is, for the government to say, come out and do this job. It's a hard process. With a commercial, private company, there's one or two people you're talking to and they say, yes, we want this, we want this, we want this. And within a month or two, you've got a contract. With the government, it's much harder. So let's look at the reality of business, doing any kind of business in Nigeria. First of all, you register a company to do a business in Nigeria. The government already owns 30% of your business with CIT, Corporation Income Tax. So, okay, right. That's fair. There's not a problem with that per se. We pay our taxes, and then, of course, the workers have to pay their private income tax as PAYE, and then, of course, there's the pension, which the companies have to pay at least 10% towards the pensions and all that. Then, of course, within our business in particular, where we've got to look after things like safety costs money. You've got to look after the health. There's no point in us sending somebody who is sick to go and clean somebody's office, especially a factory where they produce food. That's just crazy. So we have to look after the health of our cleaners as well. So this is completely apart from having to train somebody not only in how to use a mop, how to use a bucket, how to use dusters, particular chemicals and all that kind of stuff, but how to train them to get more self-esteem within themselves that, okay, yeah, cleaners are normally regarded as bottom level stuff, but my cleaners get everywhere. We clean the houses of MDs, we clean the offices of bank MDs, we get everywhere. So there's a case of honesty that has to be taken care of as well. And we have to instill in them the ethics of being a cleaner. So the cost of getting from somebody that walks in the door and says, I want to be a cleaner, to getting them out to a location to actually do the cleaning, that costs quite a bit of money. And now we're talking about, a lot of the machines that we use, we don't make machinery in Nigeria. So all that's got to be imported. And of course, we all are familiar with the price of tomatoes going up because of the dollar. Imagine what a machine is going to cost when you start talking about dollars. I mean, when my mother and father started the business, the dollar was 1 to 1 naira, or in those days pounds, you know. But you know, now we're looking at close on 900, 950 to the dollar. To bring in a scrubbing machine to clean a floor, we have to start looking and weighing up the odds and countermeasures about, is it cheaper to employ a Nigerian to clean that floor as opposed to bringing in a machine? Now, some of my customers will insist, I want that machine. And then, of course, I buy the machine and then I've got to buy the spare parts. And of course, I've got to train the people how to fix that machine. So it's not a simple business. It's not a simple business, of course, you know, but that's what business is about. Somebody comes in, walks off the street and says, I want to be a cleaner. Well, we've got all the basic things that we have to check out. You know, do you have a record? Are you a thief? You know, basic stuff that we have to check. Get their first names right. You know, make sure that their names match their tin names and all that kind of stuff. And that's my HR's job. And they have to clear all that to make sure that, okay, if we do employ you, we won't have a problem paying you. So we pay all our cleaners via their bank accounts. So we've got to make sure that they are viable for that kind of thing. Makes it difficult, but you know, that's the start of everything. And then once we accept that, okay, it is possible for us to train you. Okay, right. We bring them into our training school, which are trained by not just the what I call a professional cleaning trainer. Minimum is 2 weeks boot camp. You will learn how, minimum 2 weeks.
We have a training school here.
We have a training school downstairs. We train them on how to use mops, buckets, dusters, scrubbing machines, squeegees, name it. Things like MSDS, what is that? You know, we have to train them to do that. Not only do we train the cleaners, but once the cleaners have been working for a year, maybe 2, we bring some back to be trained as supervisors. And they undergo another week-long training session on how to become a supervisor and what you need to do to be a supervisor, you know. And then there's continuous training as well, where our trainers with some experts inside our so-called special squad will go out to sites and train at site. Because one company is different from another company. So if you want to clean a food processing machine and you want to clean the MD's desk, you're going to use different methods of doing this. And of course, the MD is working at some point, and the food processor is working on how you manage this cleaning program, if you like. So our training is almost continuous. I think my CEO might have mentioned that we just honored a lady for working some 27, 23 years. I can't remember exactly the number of years, but a long time. And we honored her because she started as a cleaner and she moved all the way up to being the manager of one of our bigger production sites, you know, manufacturing sites, all the way in Agbara. And she's trained, I think, about 2 or 3 of our children and put them through university. Through this, she's earning money, you know, and she's looking after herself and she's paying and she's finding ways of putting them through school and all that, which she could not have gotten to that level if we did not train her how to do. Now, not only did we honor her, but the company that she was managing the site for, they also came down and said, look, we're unhappy that you're leaving, but we know that you have to retire sometimes, so thank you very much and all that. So it's a case of training is key. We have to keep training people. I'd like to say that A, we're the oldest. B, I think we're the biggest currently. C, we don't stop at, I think we're okay. We're constantly reinventing ourselves to try our best to find new methods of cleaning, better ways of doing things. We look after our staff as far as possible within the budgets that we have. So every member of staff, no matter what, even if you don't have HMO, we'll make sure that you have a hospital available. to go to if you have injury. We pay for insurance. So we just had one of our cleaners that was run over on the way to work, both legs broken. We paid for the treatment at Igbobi Clinic, but we will still claim on the insurance. And the insurance companies are, you've been paying your insurance regularly. Don't worry, we'll take care of it. We just need to know when it finishes and what the total bill. So we have a good relationship with our other service providers that come to us and say, okay, right, we'll do this, we'll do this. We make sure, make sure that our staff are looked after, because if you don't look after your staff, they'll mess you up. And now we have 1,500. I don't know every cleaner that we have. I would like to, but I don't. The cleaners that we have in Maiduguri, I've never seen them before. Never seen them before. But I've seen their names in the payroll sheet. Once in a while I have to go through and I see their names. I say, okay, yeah. Okay, fine. We have cleaners there. And I know they do a job. And I know that the person who trained them was trained by us here. So, we're pushing our skill set as far as Maiduguri to be able to clean a place. And I think it's for one of the international organizations that are there. So they know what cleanliness is. And if my cleaners out there are doing a good job and they're asking us to do other places for them, I think we are succeeding somewhere, I'm sure that, there are going to be times when a company will say, we don't want you to clean for us again. We want to give that. Okay, fine. That's what competition is all about. Then we study, why did we lose that contract? Sometimes it's a Nigerian, I want my friend to clean the place. Okay, fine. I can't fight you on that one. It's your choice, Abi. So sometimes it's a case of they don't think we have done a good job. And then we really go into finding out why didn't we do a good job. I'd like to say one more thing, about this looking after our cleaners. Way back in 1967, I was a short person then. We moved from Ebutameta to Ilukweju. My father moved. It was during the Civil War just started, properly. And there was a guy that was my father saw, who was in the middle of, we was still constructing the building, the house. And my father saw this young man, and he must have been 15 or so, something like that, 16. And he was working really hard. My father took him on to the company after the house was built. He took him under his wing and started training him. He's still working for us now, since '67. He's about, I like to say that he's about 100, but he's not 100. He's about 75 or something like that. He's way past what we regard as retirement age. He's still one of the most active cleaners we have. My father sent him to the UK to learn how to do carpet cleaning in those days. And one of the boosts that we had in that time, in the 70s, early 70s, was this man was one of the only people in Nigeria that knew how to lay carpets, carpet tiles, as we used to call them in those days, in commercial buildings. And he's almost like my brother because he helped look after me. He taught me how to clean as well, and he's still working for us. So, I think we've succeeded there. So, if you ever want anybody to clean your building, come and talk to us. We'll do a good job for you.
This is Nigeria Cleaning Service Limited, Nigeria's foremost cleaning and facilities management company. Welcome to our world. We are a leading and award-winning provider of world-class quality, professional, bespoke, integrated cleaning services and facilities management support solutions for our esteemed clients. We are your one-stop shop for everything cleaning and facilities management. Nigeria Cleaning Service Limited. Call us now